What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're doing a DFS and sportsbook picks for the 2020 Joburg Open. We kind of had a week off from our European Tour regular scheduled programming, but 2 weeks ago, Craig, you nailed the outright win there with Bobby Mack, 30-1.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. He was one of the shorter odds guys. Crazy format we had there, but he pulled it out. So happy to see that. Hopefully we can keep some better picks coming here.
Yeah. No, a win is a win is a win, man. No two ways about it. It was a funky kind of format in Cyprus, but we got the winner with Robert McIntyre. Make sure to subscribe below. If you like our European Tour content, we'll also have RSM content coming all week. So make sure to subscribe. We've been kind of on a hot streak. We had Carlos Ortiz, we had Bobby Mack. I know we had DJ for the Masters, so let's keep the good train going.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we are down to South Africa for a couple tournaments swing with the European Tour. We are at the Joburg Open in Randpark Golf Club in Johannesburg, South Africa. Craig, we got a little bit of a beast here. 7,500 yards, 6,800 meters for par 71.
Yeah, you want some ball strikers. You want guys that can get it out there off the tee, I think.
So it's kind of interesting looking at previous winners at Randpark. Brandon Grace and Louis Oosthuizen, they were I think it was the South African Open it was called. And then Sharma, we had to go back. That was the last edition of the Joburg Open. So we do have, in different kind of time frames across kind of 3-4 years there, we do have some pretty prolific winners here. I would say ball strikers for sure. Obviously the South Africans are doing well here. It's co-sanctioned by the Sunshine Tour.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're just looking at those fields, I don't know if you want to get too much into what kind of golfers they are so much as they're just some of the best South African golfers we've got. So good golfers going to win golf tournaments.
Yeah. A couple of notes for the weather. It does look like we have a chance of rain pretty much every day. I think it might play softer and longer if that is the case. Highs up there. It's going to be highs of 30 degrees Celsius, so it'll still be warm. And then wind gusts as well. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we'll see kind of reaching that minus 20 number that we have at this golf course in the previous winters. But yeah, I think it's going to play long.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I'm not super concerned about what the final number is going to be, just because ultimately the guys are playing against, everyone's playing the same course, whoever plays at the best of the field we've got this week. We don't know what the conditions were like in those weeks. So, 20 kilometers an hour, it's also not enough to make me just look at wind players as being the only factor.
For sure.
Obviously, if it, gusts are always worse, and if it does look like it's going to favor one side of the field, then you do want to look at that. From what I have looked at, it doesn't seem obvious to me that there is anyone to favor based on weather. So, I'm looking for ball strikers, really.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Let's get into it. So we're going to give you one of our top DFS plays. We're going to give you a DFS sleeper under 8,000, and then we're going to talk sportsbook picks, some of our outrights, maybe top 5, top 10, that kind of our favorite plays of the sportsbook. But kicking us off, Louis de Jager is my pick, 8,500 on DraftKings. Just a guy that kind of stood out to me this week. Driving distance is good, 309 yards, a very good driving average. I also think with the length of this, there won't necessarily be a lot of greens in regulation. Approach play is always key in every golf tournament anywhere in the world, but I think around the green might be kind of a worthwhile stat if people, they're trying to get there in long irons, that kind of thing. So positive around the green, and then just playing really good golf lately. Top 35, last 5 starts. He was at the Cyprus Showdown, a top 10 there with a T9. He has 5 career Sunshine Tour wins, so he can win in South Africa. Some guys, they might be making their first trip down here in the field. He's been here before. He's won here before. At Randpark, not great history. So he's missed a cut here 3 times, looking at those last 3 tournaments. But if you look a little bit deeper, twice it was right on the number and once by 2 strokes. So I'm not putting a whole lot of weight into that. I think his form coming in right now is actually quite good. So I like where he's at for this kind of 2020 November tournament.
Yeah, you got to I think on a course like this, you got to like someone who's averaging 309 yards. I think when I was looking through it for my picks here, I think the average for the tour was about 301. So that's a healthy amount above it. Which, on a long course like this, you got to be getting it out there.
Yeah.
My first one here, he's actually a guy that, maybe I have a little bit of favoritism because he did well for my ticket in the Cyprus Open, the first of the two
Okay.
tournaments there. He was tied for third. But I've got Garrick Higgo coming in at 9,200 on DraftKings.
Yep.
He actually didn't have status on the European Tour to start the season. He's only 21 years old. He turned pro last year, but so he doesn't show up on the strokes gain categories. He just doesn't have enough rounds
Right.
in the
Right.
ones
Right.
where
Yep.
they're keeping track of shot link data. But in terms of scoring average, he ranks sixth. So he's right up there with the top players, a lot of big names who aren't even coming to this tournament. Obviously, he probably has played in some of the easier tournaments where scoring has been better, but still, it's good to see him, in the upper echelon there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He turned pro in 2019. He played college golf in the U.S. at UNLV, but
Okay.
since turning pro, he has a great record. So he went to the Sunshine Tour. He won twice there, including a co-sponsored, co-sanctioned
Right.
the
Okay.
challenge tour championship. He
Oh,
won.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
he's been winning right from go. This
Yeah.
year, after the COVID break, he won the Portugal Open, which was co-sanctioned challenge and Euro Tour. That gave him a
Yeah.
full year of exemption on the European
Okay.
Tour. So
Yeah.
since then since the shutdown, he's got 8 starts on the European Tour. Five of
Yeah.
those are top 30 or better. That includes a win. That includes a couple top 10. So, he's
Yeah.
in great form. He has, since the shutdown, he also has a top 10 on the Challenge Tour, but, it's just a little bit less relevant now that
Right.
he's
Yeah. Yeah.
playing
Sure.
Euro Tour full time.
Yeah.
So yeah, without the strokes gain though, I had to dig a little bit deeper for trying to get an idea of what his ball striking's like.
Right. Right.
He is above average. He is about 305 off the tee, so he's above average driving distance, which I like to
Yeah.
see. And then his greens in regulation is actually one of his best stats. He is just under 70% there.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know you're saying that greens in regulation might be hard to get, but I figure
Hey, it's still
why
good
be
to
good
have.
around the green if you can just get on the green? No, but
Yeah. It's still
just
good to have.
indicators that he's a good ball striker, I think.
Absolutely. I'm glad you picked him. He's kind of on my short list as well. I think he'll definitely sneak into my DFS lineups,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Good young talent.
Hmm.
Another good young talent, I think. Grant Forrest coming in DraftKings 7,200. Decorated amateur career. He's Walker Cup. All those kind of big amateur tournaments he's playing in kind of the last 5 years or so. But he's a young professional now. Driving distance. I mean, it's kind of like we're going Højgaard here, but he's averaging 316 off the tee. Grant Forrest. So that is huge.
That's
One of the
top
best.
10.
Yeah, I think he's right behind Rasmus Højgaard actually in terms of driving distance. So he can absolutely get it out. And then, sometimes you'll see these bombers without touch around the green. He's still positive around the green. So not great, but he's still positive, which is a good sign. 0.11 above. No professional wins, but in his young career, he's traveled worldwide. He's played worldwide, and he has top fives all over the world. Europe, China, South Africa. I just think at this number, at 7,200 on DraftKings, he's more talented for that, and he has more high upside, I think, than that number kind of indicates. So I like Grant Forrest, and his length is just, I don't know, it separates him a little bit. I think he's a steal at 7,200.
Yeah, and especially I think when you get into the big GPP tournaments, you do want people who have that upside because that's how you win. That's how you get into those. It's so heavily weighted towards the top of those pools that you need guys that can go out there and get high finishes.
Yeah, exactly.
My sleeper, and I don't know if we ever arrived on an allowable salary for a sleeper, so this might be pushing it.
No, I said 8,000 and below.
Oh, 8,000? Okay. I was going to say this might be pushing it a bit on sleeper because I think he is on people's radars. Antoine Rozner, he's coming in at 8,000. He's just been playing really good, really consistent golf. His last 6 starts, he's averaging about 20th in terms of his finish, and
Yeah.
that's with I believe it is a single top 10. It might be two. I had it written down, but then I flipped the page here.
Yeah.
So his ball striking is really, I think, the key. He's averaging almost a half stroke off the tee and 0.72 on approach. Both of those are very competitive. Puts him in. I want to say strokes gained. He's about or approach. He's about top 10 on the European Tour. And he's really just, he is a bit older compared to Higgo and Forrest maybe, but he's really just, his game has developed and he's reached this level within the last couple of years. Last year he was on the Challenge Tour. He won there, I believe twice he won there. So he has demonstrated the ability to win, which is something I do like to see because, as people work their way up, if they're winning at that competition level, it always bodes well for their ability to win at the next level. So I think he is safe. I think his ball striking gives him a good floor, but I also think he does have a lot of upside potential.
Yeah, I like it. So let's jump into our sportsbook picks here. So I've kind of gone different ways. I've given you guys top 10s, top 20s, but I'm actually going all outrights for my selections this week. I just feel like there's good range in the kind of that 20 to 40 where guys can maybe sneak. I just don't think it's really that top heavy. And I think kind of this second tier is a really nice kind of area to target for a potential winner. So the ones I'm looking at and I'm kind of staking my claim, Gavin Green, 22 to 1. I had him in the Cyprus Showdown as well. He made the final day, didn't quite pull it through, but an improvement from the Cyprus Open, which he didn't do well there. Next one, Craig.
Do you know? Have you got his travel schedule? Do you know that he's getting there?
No, that's a good point. All these guys we're talking about, I would check their Instagram, make sure that they are in Johannesburg. I mean, that's always a risk with the European Tour. In the next 24 hours, I'm gonna make sure to check in on all these guys.
Yeah, and just the context, Gavin Green for the Cyprus Open, he arrived there moments to spare, I think, before it's tee time.
Yeah, just before sun up, I think.
Yeah.
Craig, I'm going to butcher, our years of Japanese training, but I'm going to butcher this. I think Masahiro Kawamura.
It's a good attempt.
My hiragana katakana skills are a little bit not as good, but he's a good young talent. I like him at 40 to 1. And then my pick, my DFS top play, Louis de Jager at 40 to 1, I like as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an each way with any of them. I'm just going to kind of hope for an outright with one of the three here.
Yeah. Okay. So I went similar, but I've just sort of gone a little bit different. So, I've kept Garrick Higgo and Antoine Rozner. I think that if I'm placing a win on them, I'd prefer, I don't love the each way. I'd rather just place a separate bet on the win and then either typically I choose between a top 5, top 10 or top 20 to go with that.
Right.
And so I like, with Higgo, I like the win in the top 10. He's 22 to 1 and 2.6 respectively. Similar with Rozner, you're getting better odds. He's 35 to 1 and 3.5. And then my last one here, MJ Duffy. We've seen him over on a few PGA starts. He's been on the Corn Ferry and the PGA Tour over the past year. He's Monday qualified into a few tournaments. And I know that he has a tie for 12th, and I believe his other higher finish ended up being 22nd, but he was even higher than that, and then faded off a bit. With him, he is South African, and Higgo is as well. So you'd expect them to have familiarity with the course and with the style of courses, especially. But with Duffy, I'm looking at a top 5 and a top 20. I think you're getting good odds on both of those. And if you do want him to win, I'd have to look it up again here. But yeah, if you think he can travel down there and first time out with these guys in a while win it, I just have a little less faith compared to the guys who are out there playing with the same competition week in, week out.
Yeah, and I like those numbers because I was just quickly looking up his DraftKings price. He's coming in at 8,700 on DraftKings, so that's fairly high. I mean, they're kind of putting them in that second tier, definitely above average kind of chances to
And
pull it
that
up.
may be a little bit too because his North American exposure is higher. And so DraftKings, which I think the market, compared to the sports books, at least the ones I look at, they skew a little bit more international. DraftKings skews quite North American, I think, in terms of the market that's playing it. So likely you'll see Duffy being a little bit higher owned there than if he was just another Euro Tour guy.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure to subscribe below. Just to quickly recap, DFS picks. Mine are Jager and Forrest, 8,500 and 7,200 on DraftKings. I'm going outright with my picks, Gavin Green, Kawamura, and Jager again, just straight outright.
And I've got Higgo and Rozner on DraftKings. They're 9,200 and 8,000 respectively. And then I like both of them as well as MJ Duffy on the sports books. So check it out, see what prices you can get them at.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for watching. Good luck this week. Make sure to check out our RSM Classic content as well.
Yep. Good luck, guys. See you next time.